Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Hitbox TV Challenger Face-Off. My name is Rapid. With me is Spuddington. We're hopping into our second game in our second best of 3 series. It's Tricked Esports taking on H2K Gaming, and H2K coming out with a very, very dominant Game 1 win. I was tweeting at, I believe it was Fabivin, over the course of between last game and this game, and he posted his match history, and I was like, wow, it's a pretty good score, but can you do it again? He told me to watch and learn. So some bold words from Fabivin. Of course, he did have a great performance in game 1. We'll see if he can do it again here in game number 2.
Yeah, there is a lot of ground to cover for Tricked if they want to get into this game. Last game, best thing we saw really from them was that China was, okay. Like he did pretty well in his lane. Not necessarily coming out ahead, but doing okay for himself. And the rest of the team really kind of fell apart. Booney suffered tremendously at top lane. Tyrannus was camped heavily in mid and couldn't cope, and the bot lane was not carrying nearly hard enough to make up for that.
First, we got some robotic Spuddington over here. He's channeling his inner pre-robot Victor. Maybe he's like half Blitzcrank or something like that. But either way, as far as the game is concerned, getting into picks and bans, we've got Irelia and Ahri banned out versus Tricked. So I don't mind them taking Irelia away from Babunia. The Ahri ban versus Tyrannus is, I guess, negligible. I don't think I was ever really one of his go-tos. His match history has been mostly Ahri, or I don't think that's necessarily the only champion he plays. He can pull out a Twisted Fate of his own, but I would expect something along the lines of maybe a Syndra to come out now that Ahri has been banned away. Although the immobility of Syndra might make her very susceptible to being camped out by something like Lulex running Jarvan again.
Yeah, well, his Ahri has been really, really dominant in pretty much for most of the time that I've seen him, but he needs to be on his comfort picks if he wants to be matching up against Fabivin. And it looks like we might be seeing the Jace here. Doubt we'll be seeing a top lane Jace, so Dwayne isn't really... I mean, he's not that bad, but I think he generally sort of leans towards the tankier types of top lanes. He can still play, much as we saw earlier. Xazus was playing a really, really strong carrying style from a tank, but he'll generally stick to that type a little bit more. He still wants to be a damage threat, don't get me wrong. He's not a pure utility player, but he's not like a super hard carry.
Well, talking about super hard carries, that's pretty much the way Odwamna played his top lane. I think he finished with one... Wait, I forget exactly what he did finish. Dwamna in last game on Rumble. Yeah, he didn't die. 8-0 and 15. The end game score for him on Rumble in his last game. So we'll see what's going on. A Zillion, speaking of not dying, possibly locked in there, but it is changed over to a Corki pick. Yeah, I think taking Corki away from Sino would be a step in the right direction. No Lucian ban, though, means that is on the table.
Well, Ganon does favor his Lucian, he always has done, but I think he'll be perfectly comfortable on the Corki, and it also takes away the possibility for Trick to run the Das Uber Disengage comp. It's sort of lost any German attempts there, but you don't want to let a team get all of the really strong current meta poke picks at the same time, or it just becomes impossible to engage on them and impossible to poke them out yourself, and you just end up with a horrible situation, basically. So, taking away the Corki makes a lot of sense. Tricked already had themselves the Jace and the Janna, two of the biggest in that regard. It's not going to be enough on its own.
Yeah, the big problem that I'm seeing here is that Tricked, they kind of forgot to ban Lee Sin versus Lulex. If anybody has ever heard of Lulex, and actually one of the weak points for Lulex from a lot of the teams that he's been on, is that he literally only plays Lee Sin. If you look at his match history, he's got, whoops, clicked on the wrong person. If you look at his match history, he has over 900 games on Lee Sin this season, and his next highest played champion is Kha'Zix with about 230. So safe to say he knows what he's doing on Lee Sin with his strongest champion on board here. H2K already off to an incredible start. Odwamna didn't die on Rumble. He's got that champion again. And this time, Forbidden is going to pick up a Zed. So we thought he had a lot of kills in the last game on Twisted Fate. Just imagine what he can do with Zed's mobility.
Yeah, that was pretty much what I was expecting to come as soon as I saw that Jace lock in. H2K knew it was up. They knew they were leaving it open. And Zed versus Jace is not a place Jace wants to be. That's not a happy place. He is very, very burstable and doesn't have an easy time in stopping a Zed from bursting in because, you know, you knock him back and he just living shadows in or living shadows into the death mark and can dodge out the way. There's a variety of problems in that matchup. So he's going to have to do very, very well to come out on even an equal level. Not impossible that Forbidden will be roaming around either. He's very, very versatile mid laner, does a lot of stuff like that. Not sure I'm a fan of Kassadin versus Rumble either, because he's not going to have the control over the pace. He's not going to prevent Rumble from teleporting down for dragon fights either. So, yeah, I gotta say, I feel like H2K have probably gotten the better of this pick and ban phase, and coming off the game they had last time, that can only spell trouble for Tricked.
Lucian Jenna should be a very strong duo lane, but once again, the sustain that Voidal is going to have on his Nami, it might be just what they need to counter that out. And while the mid lane matchup may be very aggressive, Tyrannus especially having the range advantage over Forbidden Zed, I just don't even like. I close my eyes, and at night when I have nightmares, Forbidden Zed is always there. And I think after this game, Tyrannus might just have the same experience. And especially like I'm starting at the bottom and I'm going up towards the top, and then I hit Lulex and I'm just like, well, that's kind of all you need to say. His Lee Sin, it's been a monster, and I'm excited to see how he does on arguably his strongest champion. Now for Tricked, it's not necessarily like, you know, over before it starts for them, but like you said, H2K have a very strong draft coming in here to game 2.
Yeah, Tyrannus needs to perform, Steiner needs to maintain a decent level, and Babunia can't afford to die in the early game at all, which is going to be really, really tricky against Lulex. A lot of it basically comes down to how well Moath can influence the lanes. Last game really didn't exert a lot of pressure. Previously in most games, Tricked have relied on Moath to set them up in their lanes. Regardless though, guys, we're going to be going into a quick commercial break, 2 minutes 30 on the clock. So come right back. We'll be there.
Whenever you're calling, baby, you know I turn around. Whatever is calling, baby, you know I turn around. 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 Baby, you know I turn. Push the tempo. Push the. to sleep. Open my eyes. Not one sound. Whatever is calling, baby, you know I'll turn around. Baby, you know I'll turn around.
Welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Hitbox Challenger Face-Off. This is H2K versus Tricked, and we are onto Le Rift. And also, I am not truly a meme master, unlike Lulex.
Yeah, Lulex definitely won that battle out before the game started. But this is game number 2 in the best of 3 series. My name is Rapid. That was Spuddington, in case you guys are just out tuning in and like, who's that guy with the accent and stuff? Although I'm not sure who you'd be talking about, because I am, of course, from across the pond, so a little bit of distance there. But thanks for joining us. Game number 2, Tricked, has a long way to come back after their loss in game 1, and they do have, I guess, okay champions to do it with, but then you look at the roster that has been drafted here for H2K. They've got Lulex in the jungle on his very strongest champion. Odwama had a deathless Rumble game in game 1, probably looking to do the same thing, and Hjarnan and Voidal poised in the front of the bush for some epic cheese, should anyone walk in there.
And that will work against the side of Tricked if they are moving aggressively forward, because the level 1 for Ajana is not that fantastic. They are in fact going to have the minions to back them up as they go in, but take a phosphorus bomb for their troubles, so advantage gained. There we go.
I guess that's one way to win your lane. Phosphorus Bomb only dealing 90 damage, and of course it is magic damage, so it's not really, the worst of all situation. But with the sustain that Voidal has here, that's what's really going to be the main benefit from this trade. Just trying to push the wave as quickly as possible, and actually Trick doing a better job at shoving their wave in. So they should theoretically on the second wave hit that level 2 power spike first, and we'll see if that is good enough to get them an advantage in the lane that they'll be able to do something with.
Well, the play of Voidal, as it usually is, quite aggressive, quite pokey. He doesn't want to all in. He's not an all-in support, but he does play aggro. And that's buying them advantages, because quite frequently he's auto-attacking and no one is returning fire. They're not trading correctly at that stage, and that enables him to just keep doing this, keep moving forward, keep casting his E on himself to do that damage. And look, Cynet doesn't return fire every time.
Yeah, and more importantly, he's just walking up by himself, really not coordinating that with Nico quite as often as Voidal is doing it with Hjarnan. They are both at level 2, but level 3 is coming up here in, I think, the next minion wave after this. Just Phosphorus Bomb after Phosphorus Bomb, continuing to hit onto Cyna. So bottom lane not necessarily working out. Top lane, though, is a little bit more even than I would have expected, with Babunia going for a Kassadin top. Not a champion you really see all that often, but one that does work well against heavy magic damage lanes.
Oh, Jarvan on mid lane.
Yeah, Fabibin should be forced to flash there and will flash away from Moarth coming in. So kind of a big pickup there, putting the pressure on Fabibin. That flash will still be down when he hits level 6, so will significantly limit the mobility involved with Zolid.
So it's a good thing to be seeing Moarth on a little bit more early presence here. His last game on Kha'Zix was really a bit iffy. There was a big problem, but in that all of his lanes were falling apart. But he still possibly could have done a little bit more early. And Kha'Zix, actually, in spite of what you may believe, he's not a fantastic early game jungler. He's okay, but he's not top tier in that early game. Jarvan, he really does have a lot to contribute in the super early stages. So Moaf has to, as I mentioned in Champion Select, exert that pressure, control the pace, make sure they don't start falling behind, because H2K demonstrated last game they are not afraid of suffocating an enemy team.
And that's pretty much what they did in game number 1. This time around, Trick know what they're up against, firsthand, and I'm just not sure that they necessarily have an answer. The team comp that they have drafted, what does it really do, Spuddington? Is there any particular synergy between the champion choices that Trick have drafted this game?
So Trick do have themselves some pretty decent poke and some reasonably good mobility as well. They've got themselves the movement speed from the Jan Aurora, if you want to know about that. The Lucian dashes, Jace can disengage or acceleration gate, and Jarvan works sort of reasonably well, but there's nothing particularly impressive, and Lulex may actually kill Babunia here straight up.
Going in, wow, first blood right underneath the turret. He's just like, I'm just gonna walk in here. Sonic Wave, resonating strike, kind of know the rest there. Lulex with already the first kill, about as easy as you could ask for it. Babunia just not able to hold his own in that lane.
Bad flash from Babunia as well. He could have used it to dodge the Lee Sin Q and gotten out alive. As it was, he waited too long. I think he thought he could survive Lee Sin just beating on him and tried to save his flash, and ended up losing both his life and his flash. So, not his proudest moment, I'm sure. And I mentioned before, he can't afford to die up there. If he gets, as it stands, he's able to hit a comfortable equilibrium. He's got so many pots, he's got his catalyst, he's got his flask. It's very difficult for Rumble to push him out. If he gets too far ahead, it won't be a problem. And it's not like Kassadin isn't tanking a lot of Rumble's damage.
Yeah, he is actually walking forward into that. As anybody playing against Rumble, you have to avoid the spam whenever he turns on his Flame Spitter. He's just going to walk up to the wave. It's not a big mystery what Rumble does, but apparently it is a little bit more mysterious on how to avoid it. Definitely needing to turn on that Q for the trade and use that magic shield to block a lot of Rumble's damage right there.
I'm also not entirely convinced by Kassadin in the later stages of the game nowadays. Nico needs to be a bit careful down bot.
Yeah, it's getting very, very low, and more importantly, doesn't have Sina with him, so he is all on his own there. Wrapping around the mid lane, though, Moarth coming in once again onto the Vivin right as Tyr just pushes the wave under his turret, so probably not the greatest timing there. And Lulex, though, he is going very aggressive, looking for the red buff. He'll reset the timer on that, knows exactly when it's coming up anyway. Moarth walks in the jungle, face checks into Lulex. He's only level 5, so no dragons. Wait, what is he doing? He's trying to block that, but sets up right for Odwamna. Probably just gonna turn it back around. Can't even escape. Not sure if he just got minion blocked in the red buff or what was going on there, but unfortunately, will die and give the red buff over to Lulex.
The problem was he knew he didn't want to flag and drag immediately out of there, because he knew that if he did that, Lulex would stick his Q on him and he'd follow, and then it would be as if he'd never used it in the first place. But the problem was he stuck around so long trying to find an angle where red buff would block the Q and where he could actually get over a wall. He took so much damage from the auto attacks. He then, again, couldn't just not save his flash, but couldn't save his life either.
And already a 2-0 start here for H2K. Now, specifically, the guy I'm going to be watching is Vivin. He had a very confident tweet coming out before the game. We'll see if Lulex is able to kind of eclipse his performances. Red buff up there. I think Moarth might actually die here. Sonic Wave resonating, strive for a double kill. 4-0 start to the game for Lulex.
This is looking pretty brutal right now. That is a 4-0 Lee Sin, and Babunia, he's in trouble too.
Oh no, Babunia does make it out of there alive, does not have flash, but it's almost like Lulex knows what he's doing with Lee Sin, Spuddington. I think he's played the champion before.
It fits so well with the other champions they picked here. The Zed in particular just roams into the enemy jungle with that, and oh Dwamne, that was nice. That was like instant flash to follow the Kassadin Rift Walk because he knew.
Yeah. Just absolutely perfect. It's like he's just getting inside Babunia's head. He's even just going to use his equalizer on the minion wave just to go back to base in time. Whoa, Cyanea, very low, but actually forces the heal and Valkyrie backwards. Yarnan maybe bite off a little bit more than he can shoot. Tyranids 2 in the mid lane keeps eating those Razor Shurikens every time Pabivin throws out a Living Shadow.
He did eat the Death Mark without dying, but the problem is, Pabivin didn't commit his Ignite, he did commit his Exhaust. So he's now at a big disadvantage when he gets back into that lane. He's already squishy, and Simon's going in.
Whoa, yeah, teleport bottom lane, though. Buffalo will be forcing the flash out there. Odrama lands one Electro Harpoon after another. And no way to escape from that. Did you ever watch Digimon as a kid, Spuddington?
I did watch that. Not like all of it, but I watched some of it.
I always thought there should be an Ikakumon skin for Rumble because they both have the skill Electro Harpoon. And I was like, wow, what a shout out to my childhood. But unfortunately,
I'm not gonna lie, I can't remember who that was.
He was the giant walrus looking thing that shot his horn everywhere. So kind of the same situation. But Babunia top lane again going down. 0-3 and Tricked already off to a very rough start.
Yeah, this is out of control already. This is 4K gold. This is too big for them to deal with already, unless they can get some incredibly good fights. And they've picked again a large part of their problem here is the Kassadin. I'm not a fan of Kassadin top. Even if you can get a good matchup for it, like Rumble isn't too bad, or a Maokai, the problem is he just doesn't do very much until he's got so many items. He takes so long, and even then, he's not that impressive of a damage threat. The only advantage he has nowadays, unlike the olden days of Kassadin of yore, he only has his mobility, and yeah, also death.
Yeah, he's got a lot of that. Looking for a Rod of Ages first, but by the time he picks up that, Odrama is already going to have as much penetration as he wants from his boots and Spirit Visage, and he's already crushing down in that lane. Level advantage up there. Bottom lane, though, Voidal might go down here, but Sana can't figure out who he wants to auto-attack. It's either Hjarnan or Voidal, and he's trying to hit them both, but he can't kill either one of them. And now, with Lulex coming bottom, there are kills to be had. Lulex with the auto attack. Oh my gosh, he just kicks him right into the queue. Lulex unstoppable, 502.
Meanwhile, Pabivin killed Moath in middle lane to nobody's surprise, unfortunately, except it seems Moath's. But yeah, this is, I mean, Sign is actually pretty legit. Like, he is playing really quite well, and Nico is backing him up perfectly. But the rest of the game, everyone else on Tricked is just being outclassed completely.
Yeah, specifically Lulex is just rising to the occasion. As much as people would like to maybe criticize Trick for not playing up to H2K's level, it's pretty much just Lulex running around the map killing everybody on a champion he has almost 1,000 games with this season. Like, it's not a mystery that you have to ban Lee Sin against Lulex. That's actually a weakness for Lulex because you just ban out his strongest champion, and he's traditionally thought to be, not as strong as the other, traditional jungle picks. So that's what a lot of teams will do, and that actually makes him a little bit of a less versatile player. So not being able to capitalize on that is a big weakness here. Oh, Lulex, don't do it more. He's going to take the Q. Just gets him back right over the wall into Odrama, who's going to be able to take him down with another Electro Harpoon.
Yep. Brutal. This is what happens when Lee Sin gets ahead. And a good Lee Sin will never let up. They will never let you back into your own jungle. Especially when they got back up like this.
Equalizer just zoning Tyranids away, and now Odrama is just going to motor his way on through the turret.
Oh, he missed!
A little bit of a drive-by, but he does actually miss pretty much everything. And Odrama gets the refresh on Scrap Shield, just in the nick of time to survive.
And that was some pretty close stuff, but yeah, can't miss your Electro Harpoons. I mean, that was a sitter of a shot, and he missed it anyway, but can't really lay too much criticism on any of the players from H2K here, considering how much they are completely controlling. And now we can see if Babunia can do anything, but look at him, he's just like thinking, well, I could go in, but I don't have the damage to deal half health on anyone here. Even a carry.
Bit of a struggle. No Rod of Ages for the top laner. Brutalizers picked up for both Syna and Tyranids, just trying to be as effective as they can. Lulex taking down the dragon at 14 minutes for H2K, and just objective control all across the map. Champion stronger. H2K off to about the best start they've ever had.
And Kassadin can't even clear waves very quickly, so he can't even apply much map pressure with the minions that he kills. Problems abound for Kassadin, but, well, I can't say I'm really all that sad that I don't feel Kassadin is a particularly strong pick anymore. He was quite good for quite a long time, you know.
Yeah, I feel like this is sort of his cosmic comeuppance, you know, the karma coming around and kind of biting him. He's like, what's that? The most broken champion in League of Legends for, like, almost a year? Let's nerf you into the ground. So I wouldn't say that he's terrible now, but he is substantially less powerful. Let's put it that way.
I'm actually curious, if you death mark on someone just as they're recalling, do you follow them through their recall?
No, you don't. There is a range limitation. I think 2,000 range is the distance. But theoretically, if you were to, you know, like, recall back while you're in base, then yeah, it would take you all the way to the fountain.
Huh. That'd be amusing. I want to see that one day, but it's pretty unlikely. We're certainly not going to be seeing much more of Nico. He is absented himself from life, and meanwhile, Ring Around the Rosies, professional level.
Whoa, Baboonia trying to kite Fabivin around the turret, just can't do it enough. He needed some fancier footwork there. Fabivin following up for his 4th kill of the game. Still Lulex kind of leading the charge out here. He is currently killing jungle monsters. The rest of his team out there killing champions.
This is possibly going for an even larger goal gap at an even earlier stage of the game than last time. So that's a thing.
I believe that the largest gold gap last game was 6.3 thousand gold, so we have already eclipsed that. We're only 16 minutes in.
Wait, what? Do you mean...
that was from our previous series. Dang it,
Yeah.
I didn't actually check the stats from...
The largest gold gap I saw last game...
was 24,000 gold?
Something like that, yeah.
I think it was
this
24K.
stage of the game, I can't remember what it was at, so... Maybe, wait, I
Yeah.
think I got the match history there somewhere.
Yeah, I think Fabivin did tweet it too, so it'll be preserved immortally there. Voidal is gonna walk into a 1v2 and probably kill the both. Just kidding, might be a little bit more mortal. That'll be his second and the second death of the game for H2K.
At the end of the game, it was 25.8k at
Whoa.
37 minutes.
Need to
So,
call
yeah.
them H25.8K gaming.
Oh
Forward
my
walks in
god!
and gets blown apart. Oh my god.
Wamne, if you can hear me, build a DFG. It'll be the
Holy
most legit Rumble build.
Fabivin, I don't know, he comes built in
Oh,
with
he's
an
got a
AD
Medjay.
DFG. Okay, the Medjay.
That's Janna.
Wait a second, that Medjay is on the wrong team.
Get fed and carry, right? Or something. I don't...
I'm
thing
ready,
is-
I'm ready, Nico.
Yeah, I'm ready for the, like... carry Janna of Kings, but...
Watching out for Lulex, he'll find himself his 6th kill. He's got to stay ahead of his team in kills. So he finds another one, this time on Tyranids, and will rejoin the rest of his team, pushing down the mid lane. Well, everybody except for Fabivin, he's firmly entrenched up top. Basically has every item he knows what to do with, and is going to keep this split push alive.
So I'm not really convinced about the whole Medjay's plan when even if you got both of the kills your team had, you still wouldn't be at gold efficiency. That doesn't seem like a good proposition.
Now Dwamna is going to get, he's taking the turret, so he'll back off and let the minions have it. H2K, they're just going to explode. They're going to get this turret down to about 300 HP. Then, Trickster are going to get a little bit aggressive because they know it's do or die, and then they're just going to dive them immediately afterwards. So, waiting for the next wave. We'll see if that is exactly what transpires, because it does seem highly likely at this point.
Yeah. Tricked is, struggling. Here comes the ult.
Whoa, big equalizer up there. Dwamna going to hit Azania's hourglass and kill him while he's golden, and now more flames to come out as the turret falls. H2K pushing through for their first inhibitor of the game.
Whoa. Yeah, there's nothing actually going on. I just wanted to say whoa. Just kind of what I say. I don't really say it. You say it a lot.
I mean, I'm just I don't even know what to say after this. It's a little bit difficult. Whoa, Dwamna, see, I did it again. Moworth gonna dunk down over the wall.
You'll start noticing it now. You'll be realizing it.
I am consistently surprised every time something happens. I'm like, wait, why is this happening? Oh my gosh, that's so horrible. Everyone's dying. And
Stop, he's already dead.
Pretty much, at least in some of these situations. It has been a little bit difficult, but at the same time, just a dominant performance from H2K, playing every lane correctly. Last game, Odwamna had an 8-0 score. We'll see if he can live up to his previous score there. As Fabivin, he did promise something amazing this game. He's been having a good time, but is by no means the farthest ahead.
Okie dokie. So
I take that back. As far as gold count, he's the farthest ahead. So we'll give him
the
that.
Power of farming. So there you go. But yeah, okay. So everyone does more damage than anyone can cope with. I think we're about to see Odwa. See, this is why you should have built DFG. Like, I mean,
whoa! That's is a lot of damage. But Bivin will
they
use
might
the
get him.
QSS.
It's plausible. It's looking
no,
less so.
Rift walk in. He's gonna flash out, slowed by the force.
Get him!
He's still going in there. Living
Worth
Shadow's
your
gonna
life.
up in a couple of seconds, but a TP in from Odwamna will save his life.
Yeah, and Babunia's gonna die for the privilege, and Nico
Oh my
is...
god, he hits the Q2 Lulex! Holy cow, this guy is going off. But with that kill, Odwamna will actually eclipse him in kills. 804, now Sina 4, Sina under the turret. Yarnan gonna get a heal from Mikhails, and now Tyranid it's actually Voidal that picks up a kill. Moworth the next to die there at the hands of Yarnan, and one kill after another. GG, well played. Surrender vote coming out, and it'll be H2K Gaming with a dominant 2-0 victory over Tricked.
So, yeah. Tricked could not come close on any level there. I mean, Sina was the level. Sina was roughly equal. Their bot lane coped with their opponents. Had they perhaps had, superior late game rotations, maybe that could have bought them an advantage if everyone was on the laning level of Sina and Nico as compared to their opponents. But that just was not the case. And once the mid game rolled around, there was already a gold advantage, but Bivin and Lulex utterly dominated the jungle, and Moarth could not get a word in edgeways. So, unfortunately for Trick, they're going to be going home beaten, battered, and bruised. But H2K, the victors, they're going to be moving on to the final, going to face up against N Faculty tomorrow at 8 p.m. CET.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game to watch, so don't miss it. Make sure to tune in tomorrow. That is 8 p.m. Central European time. And, of course, that is 2 p.m. if you are on the East Coast, which means that it is 11 o'clock in the morning if you're on Pacific Standard Time for North American viewers. But make sure to tune in tomorrow to the Hitbox Challenger Face-Off for the grand finals of this Challenger Face-Off. So excited to watch H2K versus N Faculty coming up tomorrow, so you guys don't want to miss that. And one way to make sure that you stay up to date with all the Challenger Face-Off info is by hitting the follow button right down below the stream. You hit follow, then it'll let you know whenever we would go live. It's not going to spam you. It's just going to show you when we go live with Challenger Face-Off stuff. So make sure to hit the follow button and then come back tomorrow for the grand finals between H2K and N Faculty.